Hey, good evening, everybody. How y'all doing? This your boy Rob Thomas Jr. and this is the real news behind the news. Yeah. Today is October 24th, 2019. And just briefly, when y'all look at this video, look in the description section of this video, we got a link to an article. Now, again, I would like to say once again that we don't knock nobody for what they do. Your personal lifestyle choices are your own, especially between two consenting adults. But in this story here, you're going to look and you're going to see the father of a 7-year-old had to go to court to try to get custody of that child because the mother of that 7-year-old is allowing that child to make decisions to have a gender transitioning. Basically, the mother wants the little boy to be a little girl, and the father's like, "Fuck that! No, 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 no." What are y'all opinions on that subject? Do you think that the father should have a right to have a say in what his son is being subjected to? Because he actually had to take him to court. I think this was in Texas. I'm not sure. I'll read it again. But he had to take him to court, y'all. And the court ruled against him, which is going to allow the mother to get this little boy on hormones and all this stuff at 7 years old. Now, I'm the kind of person, I believe that transgender thing is a mental illness. You know, I'm not going to just go any further than that, but I will say that I think it's a mental illness because everything that they're doing is going against the laws of nature. And they are forcing this lifestyle and that ideology upon the rest of us. And for so long, we have been bullied by those same people saying that you're homophobic, you're a bad guy, you don't like men that wear women dresses and makeup but still have a penis. That's what they do to bully us into being quiet, man. And as long as we're quiet, guess what happened? They pass more and more laws benefiting that agenda, which is an anti-life agenda. So again, I'm asking y'all the question, man, do you think it's right that the father has no say-so in his son's remaining a little boy? Because you gotta look at what's going on, man. Throughout this country, man, it's getting crazy. We did a video the other day about the transgender men athletes competing against women in sports and literally beating the crap out of them and breaking world records in women's sports, when in reality, they are still a man. They have way higher testosterone. We have higher testosterone levels than women do. We have more muscle density. We have more bone mass. You know, our bodies are totally built different. So now you got a bunch of men who simply put on a dress, maybe take a few hormones, and identify themselves mentally as a woman, but physiologically, they're still men, and they're competing against other women and killing them in these sports. Which leads me to ask the question, why can't they just come up with their own transgender league in all these sports? That way they'll be on equal footing. You know, that's a good question to ask. But one thing I want to mention in this situation, son, I'm doing a video. Son, you and the dog, sit down. I'm doing a video. Sorry about that, y'all. One thing I want to emphasize is that a lot of what you're seeing with this transgender thing is carrying over into the black family. Now, this is the reason why I emphasize a father being in the home. At least this father has enough sense to say, heck no, you're not subjecting my son to this. My son is a boy. You know, I am a boy, Damon. You know what I'm saying? And fathers, a real father's not going to say that you won't have a child that eventually grows up and somewhere along the line suffer the brainwashing by the LGBT community, because that's really what it is, y'all. And I'm not knocking nobody for what they do, but the LGBT community, none of those people involved in that lifestyle can reproduce their numbers in the chosen lifestyle they've chose. Two men cannot come together and make a baby. Two women cannot come together and create a baby. You see what I'm saying? But when you have a man in the home, you are less likely to have these corrupt And I guess you could say you're more than likely not to have this type of situation, because men take pride in their sons, and they want their sons to grow up to be strong men, like most of them. Every now and then you have a case where there's a child again who's been brainwashed through the school system, because that's one of the number one places they recruit you. Also through your rap music, through a lot of your music, they're recruiting our children because again they can't reproduce. But again, when you have men in the household, you're less likely to have this situation occur. So I just, put this out there, man, because again, it is becoming crazy what's going on. And again, we're not allowed to talk about it, because in places right now, there are laws they're trying to pass legislation where if you refuse to call a man who wears a dress and makeup and lipstick and eyeliner and got a wig on and he still got a penis, if you refuse to call him sir, you can be prosecuted in a lot of states now, especially overseas. So it's getting crazy, y'all. And at what point do we take a stand? At what point do we tell these people, yeah, you have a right to do what you want to do, but I also have a right to not accept it. You know what I'm saying? I also have a right not to allow my son to be indoctrinated with that nonsense. And then too, most importantly, like I always say, all right, how can you expect me to accept your choice when you can't even accept the person or the being that God created you as? You know what I'm saying? I long to make it to that day in heaven, and then you see all these transgender men coming up in there, and the first thing God gonna ask them, well, what that penis said I gave you? What you do with it? You know what I'm saying? Oh, you cut it off. How did you use the bathroom when you cut your penis off? What are those things? Those are not breasts. I didn't give you breasts. You are a boy danger. This is what God gonna eventually tell him. But hey, y'all leave your comments in the comment section of the video. Whether you like what we say, hit the like button. If you don't like it, I hate to tell you hit the down button, but do something. But if nothing else, let's start a dialogue. Because for so long we've been told that this is a subject that we can't talk about. And I'm like, why not? It's a subject that we have to deal with every day. Y'all click on the link in the description section and you can go and see where we got this article from. Hey, until y'all hear again from me, keep on subscribing, man. Keep on hitting that like button. Push our likes up, man, so we can get more and more subscribers. Because we're only 52 subscribers away from being able to go back live. Then we can have these discussions more in-depth live. Also, we trying to get some equipment up so that we won't be just sitting here in my kitchen or in my living room or whatever. I got a little space that I can make a little studio out of. But I need a computer, a laptop, I need a camera and a microphone. Being a single father, man, it's kind of hard, because pretty much every penny I get, man, goes into the house and goes to my son. So we even throw the Cash app up there. Or maybe you all might have a physical laptop that you not want to use and you might want to send it to us. Or a camera or a microphone. We should be appreciated. But again, until y'all hear my voice again on another one of these videos, this your boy RobertRThomasJr. saying be blessed.